The story begins at Dubai Airport, where preparations for Flight Kingdom 29's 7-hour journey to London's Heathrow are underway. Among the passengers is Sam Nelson, clutching a small paper bag with a heartfelt gift intended for his ex-wife, Marsha. He hopes this gesture will pave the way for reconciliation, but Marsha, now involved with Daniel, sends a message pleading with Sam not to board. Ignoring her plea, Sam takes his place on the plane, which soon takes off. Amidst the hustle and bustle, Hugo attempts to strike up a conversation with Sam, but Sam's annoyance is palpable. Meanwhile, a startling discovery unfolds when Naomi finds a bullet shell in the restroom. Fear and uncertainty grip her, and she debates whether to alert the cabin crew. Eventually, she confides in her friends. Terry, an elderly passenger, steps in, vowing to inform the cabin crew about the discovery. However, his true intentions take a dark turn. Instead of reporting it, he shows the bullet to Stuart, another passenger seated in first class. The two engage in a covert conversation, realizing that the unexpected find has thrown a wrench into their plans. They come to the unsettling conclusion that waiting for the journey to progress further is not an option. As the plane hurtles through the skies, the tension between passengers and these covert actors steadily intensifies. The revelation of the bullet shell marks a pivotal moment, setting the stage for an unfolding crisis that threatens the safety and sanity of everyone on Flight Kingdom 29. 3 hours pass, and Sam remains wary of Terry and Stuart's peculiar behavior. Terry later deceives the girls, claiming the bullet came from a prior military inspection, attempting to calm their doubts. Though Naomi trusts him, her two friends remain uncertain. Frustrated, they call cabin crew member Arthur to inquire about the bullet. To their surprise, Arthur appears clueless. Sensing urgency, Terry, Stuart, Jaden, Lewis, and Jamie reveal their guns, instigating terror among passengers and employees. They demand everyone sit and surrender their cell phones. As Arthur tries to alert the pilots, Jamie threatens him. Captain Robin senses the hijack, contacting Dubai Air Traffic Control. Under Stuart's coercion, Colette calls Robin, who attempts to open the cockpit against Anna's wishes to save Colette from harm. As Anna persists in her objection, Robin's anger mounts, leading him to strike her repeatedly and reluctantly unlock the cockpit door, handing full control to the hijackers at gunpoint. Robin informs Dubai authorities that the security incident is a false alarm, but Abdullah, the person on the other end, remains unconvinced. The hijackers disable Wi-Fi, but Sam, who had hidden his phone, manages to text Marsha about their perilous situation. Meanwhile, at Dubai Airport, baggage handler Neela receives a distressing call from her husband, with their screaming daughter in the background. In London, Marsha discusses Sam's message with her boyfriend Daniel, who is also a detective. Their son Kai insists that Sam wouldn't lie and must be in danger. Daniel probes into Sam's occupation, learning that Sam is a renowned negotiator, summoned when high stakes and conflict resolution are imperative. On the plane, Sam approaches Stuart with a proposition, assuring him that if Sam proposes a deal to the hijackers if they allow him to return home safely, he'll assist them while ensuring they avoid mistakes. He warns that while many may obey their orders out of fear, some may resist and cause chaos. Stuart remains silent but takes a photo of Sam's passport. Moments later, Jamie instructs Sam to unlock his phone but doesn't find his last message to Marsha about the hijacking. Meanwhile, two passengers decide to confront the hijackers, overpowering Jaden and causing his gun to discharge. Panic ensues as the gun is lost, but Sam eventually recovers it and gains Stuart's trust. In London, Daniel contacts Zara, an ex-girlfriend working in counter-terrorism, to investigate the plane incident. She contacts an acquaintance at air traffic control, learning that Dubai security deemed it a false alarm. Zara relays this to Daniel. Daniel relays the good news to Marsha, bringing relief to both her and their son. On the plane, Sam discreetly writes a message on the back of a magazine and passes it to Stuart, hinting at an issue with the pilot. Sam persuades Stuart to temporarily remove Robin from the cockpit as the autopilot is engaged. Stuart asks Robin to explain the system, learns the plane can fly autonomously, and seats him elsewhere. Sam continues with his strategy, initiating an in-flight game chat with Robin to gather information. Robin confesses they haven't yet communicated with ground authorities. Sam senses the imminent danger as the plane approaches Baghdad in a rocky airspace. A Baghdad air traffic officer call compels Sam to press the hijackers for the captain's communication. Coerced by the hijackers, Anna reluctantly contacts Baghdad ATC, arousing suspicions. Baghdad ATC, however, requests to speak with the captain, encountering Robin's resistance, which results in being forcefully taken into the cockpit. Robin ultimately engages with Iraqi authorities, falsely assuring them of safety and providing misleading information to divert further scrutiny. Upon exiting the cockpit, Robin discreetly adjusts a dial, subtly altering the plane's course. In London, Alice hurries to the British Air Traffic Control Center, learning about the Dubai plane's security situation and counter-terrorism involvement, despite it being a false alarm. Alice's instinctive skepticism drives her to consult with her boss, who cross-references information with Dubai and Iraq ATC. The observation of the plane's slight course correction leads them to interpret it as a distress signal, indicating the plane's desperate plea for assistance. As the events on the plane and the ground unfold, tensions rise, and the fate of the passengers and crew remains uncertain. The collaborative efforts of those involved in the aviation industry and counter-terrorism intensify as they grapple with the evolving crisis. At Dubai ATC, Abdullah remains skeptical but begins to reconsider as his superior converses with his British counterpart. Abdullah enters the security room, requesting CCTV footage. Noticing Neela, undergoing a baggage security check, abruptly flees upon receiving a call, leaving Abdullah puzzled. Inquiring with the security officer, he learns that she claimed sudden illness. Abdullah tries calling Neela to no avail, prompting him to head to her home. There, he encounters two British men posing as house cleaners, who assert Neela and her husband are upstairs. As he ascends the stairs and calls out, he discovers the gruesome scene of Neela and her husband shot dead. Before he can react, one of the cleaners shoots him in the head. In London, Alice notices that flight KA-29 deviates from its usual route, alerting the Air Traffic Control Center and triggering investigations. She contacts Zara from the UK's counter-terrorism team to clarify the unusual situation. Zara then notifies the duty officer, relaying the deviation. Alice explains her method of deducing a possible hijacking to the team. On the plane, Sam overhears passengers discussing a grave matter, but cannot comprehend the Arabic conversation between an Egyptian husband and his middle-aged wife. A passenger named Alicia decides to share crucial information with Sam, but her husband intervenes, fearing for his safety. However, Alicia steps in to translate for Sam and Hugo. She conveys that the Egyptian man believes the hijackers' guns are fake. When asked how he knows, the Egyptian man reveals his 30-year military background, specializing in hijackings. Lewis notices their conversation and threatens them, but Sam calms the situation, emphasizing the Egyptian man's fear of never seeing his grandchildren again. Hugo decides to personally investigate the authenticity of the bullets, despite Sam's reservations, as it may endanger their rescue plan. Pretending to be unwell, Hugo goes to the lavatory and leaves a note asking a fellow passenger to search for bullets on the floor. Lewis catches her but believes she's searching for her glasses, allowing her to return to her seat. The plane lands in Turkey, and an Istanbul-based officer seeks the pilot's approval that everything is safe. Robin vouches for it but attributes the course change to a mistake. Suspicion continues to grow among airport officials. In London, security gives the green light. Counter-terrorism springs into action, operating under the assumption that a hijacking is underway. Daniel requests the aircraft manifest from Zara to cross-reference passenger names with criminal databases. Zara uncovers a criminal, Jaunty Collins, released just 3 days prior, but nothing concerning other passengers. Surprised, Zara sent the manifest to Daniel for further investigation. Upon inspection, Daniel discovers that 5 passengers lack any government database presence, identifying them as the hijackers. Stewart briefly activates Wi-Fi and contacts someone on the ground, suggesting they answer to higher authorities, likely the masterminds behind the operation. The hijackers themselves appear apprehensive, likely novices in such a large-scale crime. Meanwhile, passengers grow anxious about their fate. Later, Stewart becomes suspicious of Rob and Sam takes action through the in-flight gaming chat, confronting Robin and demanding answers. When Stewart physically attacks Robin, Sam intervenes, subduing Stewart. Stewart's frustration swells as his grasp on control weakens. To re-establish authority, he brandishes a gun, warns Sam against heroics, and orders the screens turned off. Hugo suggests that Stewart's reluctance to fire the gun hints at its authenticity. Overhearing their conversation, Arthur reveals they haven't discovered a bullet, although a passenger had earlier. Sam asks the Egyptian man if he can differentiate real bullets from blanks, prompting sketches to illustrate the distinctions. The cabin crew initiates beverage service, but Stewart permits only water distribution. Naomi and her friends receive drawings of possible bullets, identifying the one they saw as matching Sketch B, confirming the hijackers' use of blanks. Sam resolves to confront one of them, hoping to seize control. The escalating tension leaves passengers and hijackers on edge, uncertain of what will unfold next. The crisis deepens. casting a shadow of fear and uncertainty over everyone on the plane. Feeling the urgency of the situation, Sam leans in and advises Hugo that they must seize an opportunity and eliminate the weakest link among the hijackers. Terry seems the most vulnerable, and Sam urges Hugo to take action. However, Hugo's fear paralyzes him, and he informs Sam that he can't bring himself to do it. In the economy class section, a man named Nasir grows increasingly anxious about his uncle's health. His uncle desperately requires insulin, kept inside a bag in the overhead cabinet. Nasir approaches hijacker Jaden, politely asking for permission to retrieve the medicine. Jaden, however, rejects his plea and threatens to shoot him if he tries. Nasir decides to fight back and retrieves his uncle's medicine, but Jaden retaliates, resulting in a brawl that engulfs the plane in chaos. Seizing the opportunity amidst the commotion, Sam stealthily makes his way to the back of the plane, maneuvering past the panicked passengers. Simultaneously, Stewart observes the escalating turmoil and decides to take matters into his own hands. He retrieves real ammunition from a bag, replacing the blank rounds in his gun with live ones. While the other hijackers may be using blanks, Stewart is now armed with a lethal weapon. As Sam reaches Terry, he initiates a physical confrontation. The altercation escalates, with Terry eventually pointing his gun at Sam. Unwavering, Sam challenges Terry, practically daring him to shoot since he's confident the gun is loaded with blanks. Suddenly, Stewart storms towards the back of the plane, brandishing a loaded firearm and aiming it at someone. The tension reaches its peak as a gunshot rings out, echoing throughout the aircraft, marking a dramatic turn in this harrowing episode.